Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
So much to get to in the live show today, including pretzels being thrown, radio crews suspended, a coach saying something that just doesn't make sense for a coach to say, and a lot of football, including some returning tonight. Jim Dunaway with Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Rockstar, Scott Forrester, and our man John Lunsford as we get going, 9 o'clock Central Time, live on the app, and as you watch us on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and on Twitter today. Let's start, though, with a little basketball because our buddy Andy Kennedy in UAB gets a chance to play a really good road game in the SEC tonight against South Carolina. And we'll talk about Andy and what he's building with the revival at UAB in a second. But the other side of that coaching matchup, his friend Frank Martin, right?
I really didn't realize until the other day. I was taking a look at, for whatever reason, South Carolina basketball, and I was unsure whether or not he had been fired last year.
No, seriously.
Does that make sense?
There was discussion about that, and I remember last year coming to his defense, like, we're going to fire Martin a couple of years after.
I was with you.
A couple of years after going to the Final Four, and then people who are, I guess, South Carolina basketball fans, can't say Carolina basketball fans, South Carolina basketball fans were clapping back, but what has he done in all the other years? And that's where I wanted to start, Lance, is there was a time that I felt like if you won a football national championship, I said this in waiting to do interviews out in the desert, Gene Chizik will be the coach at Auburn as long as he wants to be the coach at Auburn.
Build the man a statue, right?
Because he just won a national championship. 2 years later, he's fired.
Oops.
Ed Orgeron had won a national championship. He's a native son, can be the coach at LSU as long as he wants to. He's fired. And here's Frank Martin, who is on his way out, probably should have been fired last year, hasn't done a lot at that school since or before the Final Four, had that one great year. Where are you on him and coaching in general? Do we give up too quick?
Well, here's the thing about Frank Martin, and I think we brought this point up last year. I kind of agree with you. South Carolina is not a juggernaut of a basketball program. To get them to a Final Four, it was an amazing run. It's been 5 years this season since they've been to a Final Four, and guess what? Since that Final Four, they haven't been to the NCAA tournament, and I've always been one of those guys. South Carolina is a good enough program where you can get to an NCAA tournament. That is not a high bar. Not only that, if you go back the 4 previous years, so this is year 9 for him, that was the only time he's ever been to the NCAA tournament.
One dance. He danced a long time, but
yeah,
one dance.
I mean, it is complicated.
It is, Brown, because if you're talking, if I'm going to hire a coach, and in 9 years, I'm going to take you to a Final Four, but you're not going to the NCAA tournament any other year.
I mean, listen to his conference finishes, Jim. Outside the Final Four, where he finished 3rd in the conference. Tied for 12th, 13th, tied for 11th, tied for 3rd. That went to the NIT. Tied for 3rd. That went to the Final Four. Tied for 11th, tied for 4th, tied for 6th, 12th. I mean, you're barely even in the top half of the conference most years.
Yeah.
And most years, I mean, I've got a 12th, 13th, 11th, 12th. 5 times you're in the bottom third of the conference. I mean, it is a complicated deal with him.
Well, we use that as a snapshot of where we are in coaching in general. And I bring that up, because I think UAB is very lucky to have a guy like Andy Kennedy, who, take away the one Final Four year, Andy Kennedy did a lot better job in Oxford, Mississippi than Frank has done in Columbia, South Carolina. I mean, take out the 1 year he went to the tournament in the Final Four. Andy did a better job across the board at Ole Miss than this guy did at South Carolina.
I will give you that. And if you go back to the Kansas State days, and one of the reasons that he got the raise and decided to go from the Big 12 to the SEC, and, when I think Kansas State and South Carolina basketball, I almost think it's a lateral move.
Yep.
But, Kansas State, in his 5 years there, 4 times he was in the NCAA tournament. And he advanced all 4 years.
That's right.
So it's almost
out.
Like he was a better fit there, and sometimes fit is key, and maybe this just isn't a good fit. I know it doesn't really matter. I would say that this is a pivotal year for Frank Martin, but I would have said that last year.
I've heard long-form interviews with Frank several times, and is the most likable guy. And he and Andy are really good friends, so that's why this game is happening. It's why you'll see Huggins and Andy play games, and with West Virginia, as long as Bob coaches, and Frank will be part of Andy's life. They've been together, those three, a long, long time, and they tell great stories. Fun game tonight. I fully expect UAB to win this game tonight. I expect the Blazers to win.
Do you guys not remember we had Frank Martin on?
I do.
Yeah, it was November 21st, 2012.
Lance, really?
I'm kidding.
Oh.
I don't remember the date.
I legitimately bought it. That's stuff he remembers.
We had him on because of his friendship with Anthony Grant.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I remember he wasn't the most personable guy in the world, but...
Yeah, but I've heard him in other interviews. Like, I don't know, Frank Martin's a weird guy. You look at him, a weird study, not a weird guy. Maybe a perfectly normal guy. I don't know. He's always looked like a funeral undertaker to me.
Yeah. No, if you saw him in like an episode of The Sopranos, he had on, we saw you with an apron this morning, but if he came out with a white apron, sleeves rolled up, blood all over it, with a cleaver in one hand and a dismembered arm in the other, you'd be like, they cast this dude, right?
Picture. Yeah, it's a vivid picture, yes, for very early in the morning.
Yeah. You know what would be on one of those severed hands? A final forefinger, probably. Yeah.
But I mean,
got that ring right there.
But I'm with Dunaway. I've seen some interviews with the guy where he's funny, he's engaging, he seems very, very likable.
When he's talking with Bob and Andy and his friends, he's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I expect UAB to win this, and all of this just to jump off to say they're about to pay Mel Tucker $95 million and sign him to a 10-year contract.
I think they should, Jim. I am all for this.
Yeah, they are pissing their money away.
That is,
trust me on this.
Stake bet aside,
right.
which Ryan has him in our biggest gain stake bet for those that don't follow every second of the show. But big picture, that guy's been to a Final Four. Chizik and Orgeron won national championships. Gus Malzahn at least got him to a national championship game. Should have won it. And got him back again when he got another raise to an SEC championship game. Here's Mel Tucker, who is having a good year, but has a loss in a big game, and now is coming up on what seems to be a train coming down the tracks this weekend. Good for him. I'd sign the contract too. Great for his agent. But is he worth 10 years and $95 million?
It's ridiculous is what it is. I mean, you go back 2019, he was 5-7 with Colorado, which isn't a bad year for Colorado.
No, it's a rebuild. Yeah.
But, we saw Mike McIntyre get them to 10 wins into a Pac-12 championship game. I know that was year one, but he jumps immediately. Last year, they weren't even competitive. Again, it was a weird year in the Big Ten in 2020. Look, they've had a great season. He's really utilized the transfer portal. I'll give him a lot of credit. Personally, watching this team, they should be 7-3. They are 9-1. I still think they have 2 more losses. So at the end of this, they're probably going to be 10-3. But Mel Tucker at 10-3, and he'll end up being an 18-15 overall coach, and you're going to give this guy $95 million?
Well, these ADs and boosters are terrified of the coaching carousel.
Right.
They are terrified of it.
And it's because of that is why they're jumping the gun here. They don't want his name popping up in Baton Rouge or somewhere like that.
Yeah, it's why Gus Malzahn got the deal he got. Auburn's people were terrified of having to go find a coach. They didn't really – it wasn't that they loved Gus Malzahn. Now, he timed it out perfect, beating Alabama and Georgia, within a couple of weeks' time, and then the Arkansas job coming open with Bielema getting fired. He timed that out perfectly. It was perfect timing for Malzahn. But what ultimately got him the deal he got, that he is still being paid on, he's still eating off that deal, was the fact that Auburn had zero interest in getting the coaching carousel. They were like, we look at our guy. Is our guy the guy we want to have for the rest of our life? I don't know, but you know what? I know what he is, and I'll take what he is versus the unknown. And the coaching carousel is the unknown.
And you know what happened with Gus Malzahn? You had one big booster who said, let's give him that contract. I'll back that up.
That's right. I'll pay the buyout if we ever have to pay the buyout. Well, guess what? You did.
Yeah, if we have to make a change, I'm good for the buyout. And in Michigan State's situation, you've got 2 big boosters who said, this is what we want to do. We'll cover the money. We'll cover the money. It's on us, and we will cover it. And it's not the.
I would check their sanity, though.
It's not the amount of money that's bothering me. It's the 10-year commitment that you're on the hook here for.
I do want to see, Lance, the outs on this deal. I want to see what it costs to fire him, and I want to see what it costs to hire him away. I mean, to me, that's. I don't get as caught up in the lengths of deals and the yearly average of deals, right? There's just a cost to doing business that you're going to have to pay. So that really doesn't bother me that much. Where these colleges get...
Unless it's a baseball player.
Well, the 10-year deal. Well, because those are, by and large, guaranteed deals, aren't they?
Yep. Well, they're guaranteed deals, and the guys get way too old.
Yeah. But where these colleges get fleeced, like Auburn, are on the buyouts. When Jimmy Sexton goes in and negotiates a 75% buyout for Gus Malzahn, and you're dumb enough to sign it if you're Auburn. You're literally signing a 75% buyout on a guy you're not even 100% sold on.
Right.
There is no way Auburn's people were sold on Gus Malzahn when they signed that deal. They just didn't want to go find a new coach.
Well, I'd be shocked if 100% of Michigan State's people are sold
They're
on
not.
Mel Tucker.
But you know what they don't want to do? They don't want Mel Tucker to take the Washington job or the LSU job, which he's being rumored for, and any of those other jobs, and now I got to go find another guy.
I find it hard to believe he was ever in the mix for LSU.
Oh, I don't either.
I could be completely wrong.
But you know who sold him on that? Jimmy Sexton.
Oh, yeah. And look, and I think that, Mel Tucker at $95 million, I thought Jimbo Fisher, when he got the 10 years, $75 million, was way too much. He had a national championship on his resume. Mm-hmm. Now we're talking about a coach that really hasn't done anything at all. And you're paying him $95 million.
Oh, he beat Michigan. He beat Michigan. Let's don't pretend like this isn't just because he beat Michigan and you're high on that.
But close your eyes. You can almost hear Motor City Sports Monster on Monday morning after a 30-point beatdown to Ohio State. And you'll hear the callers, we're paying this guy $95 million. We can't stay on the field with Ohio State.
What did Mark D'Antonio
They probably won't do that with a Southern accent
$3
like
million
that.
probably? Mark D'Antonio's probably like, what in the hell is going on here? He will never, and I feel really confident about this, come close.
Here's the absolute Tuesday,
Oh,
Wednesday,
I don't
Thursday.
think he'll ever come close to doing what Mark D'Antonio did with that program on a consistent basis.
In 2019, Mark D'Antonio, according to SpartansWire.usatoday.com, was making basically $4.4 million, which made him the 24th highest paid coach in America.
So Mel Tucker's going to be in the top 3 or 4 now, right?
I think Mel Tucker is only 2 behind Saban. If I read that right last night, maybe Jimbo, maybe second or third, but he's the highest paid coach in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's Jimbo, Saban, Jimbo's New Deal, Saban, and now Mel Tucker.
Say what you want of Jim Harbaugh, he's done more than Mel Tucker as a college football head coach.
And not even close.
Ryan Day has lapped Mel Tucker as a college football head coach. I'm just going with Big Ten coaches here. Big Ten coaches.
Paul Chryst has done more.
Paul Chryst has done more.
P.J. Fleck has done more.
I would even say Pat Fitzgerald has done more. He's taken Northwestern to the Big Ten championship game.
But you're paying for potential.
You're
paying for the future.
What you think, yes.
And Mel Tucker is a guy that looks like he's got Michigan State a tough job going in a good direction. And I do believe, Ashley, one of our great female listeners, Tucker was 100% in the mix in Baton Rouge. Ultimately, they wanted Lincoln, and he's coming, Ashley says. And Ashley works on that side of the business. So
I hope you're right, Ashley.
I hope you're right, Ashley. Bruce Feldman, friend of ours with The Athletic, said last night just the other way. He says Lincoln's not coming.
Yeah.
But, Bruce does what we do. Ashley does what agents do. So we'll see who's right there. But her point is Tucker's name was floating around down there.
There's no doubt it was. And it was floating around enough you were able to leverage it into this deal.
Yep.
And again, you got Michigan State fans drunk on beating Michigan and being ranked in the top 7 of the college football playoff. And I'm just assuming this has Jimmy Sexton's fingerprints all over it. I'm just assuming he represents Mel Tucker. I don't know that to be factual.
We always assume, and we work down from there.
Well, just by the way this is played out, is you strike while you think the iron is the hottest. And the iron was the hottest after you beat Michigan and before you have to play Ohio State.
Brown paints a picture of the Michigan State boosters with beer sloshing out of their glasses. Let's give him an 8-year deal.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Let's give him a 10-year deal.
Okay, so he's got a 10-year deal. Mark D'Antonio, who, by the way, another former Saban assistant.
Correct.
6 of 8 years won 10 or more in a span of 8 years and played for the Big Ten championship 3 different times. I would be willing to go stake that and he's going to win 10 this year, but he will not win 10 games more than 3 times in his entire tenure at Michigan State. They are pissing their money away.
I'm going to say something that is rarely said on this show. I will not take that statement.
You ain't buying Mel Tucker.
I mean, I don't know how we see it.
And it's not a Mel Tucker problem. I think it's a Michigan State problem.
I think it's more Michigan State. Look, I don't think Mel Tucker, I mean, I really don't know. We haven't had a big enough sample size. I think he's done a really good job going from year 1 to year 2
I
this
like his pedigree. He comes from Kirby Smart's
But what I'll say, Brown, real quick, is the Big Ten and the Big Ten East is so difficult to navigate, and I think that's the bigger problem.
I view Michigan State, and you guys may disagree, I view Michigan State as a program that can consistently get to 9 or 10 wins. And when the planets align, they can get to the Big Ten championship undefeated and maybe make it to the playoffs.
Eastern Division Iowa is what they are.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, are they the Western Division? I mean, Auburn fans don't get upset. Are they the West in the SEC of Auburn?
No, I think Auburn will make it to the playoffs / BCS more than Michigan State will.
Auburn's a little bit more sexier than me.
Yeah.
Michigan State's
No,
not a sexy program.
I agree with that. I'm just talking about in the pecking order of where you are in the Big Ten East. I mean, right now, Ohio State, and then, I mean, who is consistently your second team there? That's my point. Is it's Alabama, and then it's a mixture of different teams from LSU to Auburn.
Mel Tucker could buy a lot of gifts for under the tree with his new deal, but if you're looking for a great value and great for the football fan or basketball fan in your life, we recommend our friends at the Pants Store. 5 locations. You got one near you. Crestline, Leeds, Trussville, Tuscaloosa, or up in the Rocket City of Huntsville. Pantstore.com. You can shop anywhere in the world, whether you're listening today in South Carolina, North Dakota, South Dakota, or out in New Mexico. You can shop at the Pants Store too. Find your favorite game day wear, sunglasses, game day accessories, and the fashions for the ladies and men. It's all right there with our friends at the Pants Store. 5 locations: Crestline, Leeds, Trussville, Tuscaloosa, or Huntsville. A lot of coaching carousel stuff today, and at some point we'll start breaking some people being hired, or at least some front runners and such. People are asking, what was I doing today? I was judging some biscuit competition. It's with our friends at Jack's local restaurant, and I was judging biscuits today. Do you guys like biscuits? I hope so. I bought a bunch. But do you like biscuits?
I don't think anybody dislikes biscuits.
What do you like putting in your biscuit?
Butter and apple butter.
Both of them?
Double butter.
Double
butters.
Yes.
On a butter biscuit.
On a butter biscuit.
I like honey on mine.
You like honey, but no meats? You don't like meats?
If I have to go with meat, I would say probably sausage patty with mustard would be number 1.
I like to throw a Chick-fil-A breast in number 1.
A chicken breast is number 2. It doesn't need to be too big, though. Sometimes you get too big of a chicken breast, and the bread-to-meat ratio gets off. I'm a really big believer in the bread-to-meat ratio.
Well, yeah.
So when I do the Chick-fil-A biscuit, I do it with the jelly all the time.
Yeah, that's
so I like
interesting.
jelly
Yeah.
on my biscuit,
Well, I
too.
bring this up because I was looked at today, not that this was biscuit snobbery or anything, but, I mean, somebody must like it because they had 2 packets of mustard sitting out. So I grabbed a pack of mustard with a sausage biscuit.
Carl liked his biscuits. A little mustard.
Did Doyle?
Yeah.
He did. I mean, that's what he... Sling Blade, he wanted his biscuits with mustard.
I've never heard Lance do Sling Blade until just then.
It threw Doyle off his knees.
I know.
Mine just went blown.
That may have been Lance's first impersonation ever.
No, he's done something else. He'll sneak them in every now and then. So I thought mustard was very common on sausage biscuits.
Like mine on fried potatoes.
French fries.
I don't like mustard on biscuits. I think mustard with biscuits is a little strange to me.
You do?
I do.
There's something about the mustard, the sausage, and the biscuit.
But I'll tell
It
you,
goes
I
well
thought it was
together.
very common.
Mustard has fallen off the shelf for me a little bit.
Oh, I love mustard. I use it.
I think it's okay
all the time. So, but people were questioning you putting mustard on a sausage and biscuit.
They looked at me like, "What are you doing?" Now I was sitting
I
next
thought
to
that
the
was a Southern staple.
I did too. There was 2 packets of mustard out there, lots of jelly, but there was some ketchup too. I was like, ketchup?
No, I don't. Ketchup. That's disgusting. But I don't
I mean,
mind.
are we in a barn? Come on.
I thought we were civilized people here. I do not mind, Lance, the jelly on a sausage biscuit. I like that little salt and that little sweet together.
Yeah.
But mustard to me is the preference.
Yeah.
Now I tell you what, man, a good open faced gravy and biscuit, it's hard to beat.
That is good.
Sausage, gravy, and biscuit. Woo.
That is good.
That's nap worthy though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna lie down for a couple hours.
Hammer it down with some black pepper on top. Yeah.
Here's the way my granddad taught me to eat that. You'd open up the biscuit. Then you put a fried egg over both of the biscuits.
Heck yeah.
And then you cover it in gravy, and you eat it that way.
Yeah.
Now, I hated
that's about 8,000 calories.
I hated to tell Pops that at that point I can't taste the egg, but I guess I could. It's in there
think you
somewhere.
Probably could.
Yeah.
Sausage and gravy over biscuit, man. When I was in high school, we used to go to Hardee's before the Friday. Before Friday school. That was like the Friday morning deal for all the juniors and seniors. And I'd order 2 of the sausage and biscuits.
Oh, but they
just hammer on.
They had this
cinnamon raisin at Hardee's back then.
With that icing on it.
Yeah.
I didn't like that as much. I like the
You know who
biscuits and
did
gravy.
who did the campaign for it? California Raisins.
Oh,
Remember
that's
that
right. They
commercial?
did. Yeah, I heard it through the grapevine.
Little Marvin Gaye, right?
He did.
Can I ask you, Brown, because you bring up your high school days and food a lot. How sticky was your steering wheel? I mean,
Dude, that's a loaded question, Jim.
You got double biscuit and gravy.
Double biscuit and gravy.
On your way to school.
Yeah, on my way. Well, we'd go eat it at Hardee's. All the students would get together at Hardee's
Yeah,
and
we
just hang
would
out.
go to Hardee's early
Yeah,
morning.
we'd hang out before school.
Yeah. I didn't know if you were like trying to maneuver the cinnamon raisin thing or the biscuit and gravy while riding the sacks. Because
No,
at that
God,
point, you
no.
get a little messy inside the old Bronco.
Be all over your.
What
how'd
is
you know I had a Bronco?
the number one?
Dude, we've been together since you were a kid.
What is the number
Told
one
it.
go-to fast food restaurant for breakfast now?
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's constant.
Yeah.
Constant.
It used to be Hardee's.
Hey,
though.
I'll tell you what though, y'all don't pass it on the way in, but I do. That Starbucks down by us, it is backed out onto 280.
Well,
People
trust
trying
me.
to get in there at 7:30.
When my daughter decided to come to the next round instead of math the other day, you guys saw her up here. Y'all were like, "What are you doing?" I'm missing math.
Yeah.
She made me take her to that Starbucks.
Disaster.
It was 45 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, they're backed out on 280. Like it literally stops traffic on 280.
Well, and it also sucks when I go to that certain place on Saturdays to get my pizza, and I'm trying to pull out of there.
Oh, around the building.
Yeah.
Yep.
My son last summer was talking about getting a job again. And he was like, I think I'm going to go get a job at Starbucks. And I was like, son, why did you quit your last job? Because I had to work too much.
He wants to be a barista, man.
Work too hard. I said, have you ever watched those people behind the counter
Never
at Starbucks?
stop.
It is nonstop.
You don't check your tags.
Yeah. So do not get that job. Do not go there. All right, 20 after. Jocks Roundtable, part of the show today being brought to you by the guy who gets Brown's back straight. Had a chance to meet the doc the other day.
Oh, Dr. Lee?
Yep.
Yeah, Dr. Lee Goldenberg was up here. Good dude, man. And let me tell you, Greystone Chiropractic did get me straightened out. I went in just to loosen up my golf swing, and what I found out is proper alignment of the spine, aligns the nervous system, which affects every cell, organ, and tissue in your entire body, and it's never too young to get started. Dr. Lee says it's easier to grow healthy kids than repair damage in adults. So all ages, GreystoneChiropractor.com, GreystoneChiropractor.com, or 981-8090, 205-981-8090.
We were talking coaching carousels. We get one guy who says, heck no, I'm not hanging it up this year. Who said that? In a different,
Heck no.
different words and different enunciations and different tones. But a guy said something like that, and it's next on the next round.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
The best food with the best sports is at Walk-On Sports Bistro, and they're now hiring for the Stadium Trace location near the Hoover Met. Walk-On's has top pay for experienced kitchen staff, servers, bartenders, bussers, hostesses, and to-go cashiers. And yes, health benefits are available. Go by the new Walk-On's location at Stadium Trace in Hoover and apply today. Hiring is happening on site 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. This is your chance to join the championship team at Walk-On's Sports Bistro in Hoover.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Drunk driving prevention is a priority at Anheuser-Busch. You can't drive drunk if you don't drive there. Encourage friends to join in the pledge to Decide to Ride on DecideToRide.com. Brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and The Next Round. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our not for all ages podcasts like Bama and Bourbon, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Hey, Vulcan here. A century of reaching for the stars has taught me a lot. For one, your arm gets really stiff, but it is cast iron. For two, the stars not only fell on Alabama, they opened a First Bank branch in Homewood with local banking stars and community banking with a 5-star rating. Big banks? First Bank outshines them hands down. Hands down. That would be a relief.
First Bank, now open at 404 Hollywood Boulevard. Member FDIC.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at HydroLife Therapy. Boost your immune system today with HydroLife Therapy. IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy all under one roof. Mention Next Round at checkout. Save 20% off any service at the Birmingham and Tuscaloosa locations. If you're unable to make it to HydroLife, a nurse can actually come to your home or office. You can visit them online today, hydrolifetherapy.com. HydroLife Therapy open 7 days a week. Homewood 9 to 6 and Tuscaloosa 10 to 6.
When it comes to something as important as the roof over your head, you want to make sure you're using a company you can trust. Ryan Brown here for the Next Round. That company is Cardinal Roofing. And don't just take my word for it. They've got more than 500 5-star reviews on Google. They don't just give those away. Cardinal Roofing is your storm damage experts. They provide a 3-year leak-free guarantee, and they finish most of their jobs in a single day. Cardinal Roofing, 205-900-ROOF. That's 205-900-7663. Cardinal Roofing, your storm damage experts.
Hey y'all, whether you're a scratch golfer or just out on the course for fun, at southernbclothing.com, we know that looking great is at least half the game. And we have the fine leisure attire you're going to want for all your favorite outdoor events. Visit southernbclothing.com and read our story to find out how a whirlwind romance accidentally led to the creation of Southern Bee Clothing. southernbclothing.com. That's southernbclothing.com. Don't forget the .com.
Beef O'Brady's has been serving up food and fun for more than 11 years with great locations in Hoover, Helena, and now Highway 280 in the Brook Highlands neighborhood. You can enjoy the food and fun at 3 great Beef O'Brady's locations. With more than 22 TVs and Sunday ticket, Beef O'Brady's is the place to unwind, relax, and watch your favorite team play. Beef O'Brady's in Hoover, Helena, and now in the Brook Highlands neighborhood on Highway 280. The perfect place for serving up food and fun.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call. LT takes off the gloves for an in-depth conversation with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmond Vodka. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Several Cowan Equipment poll questions out. I got one for later in the show when we get to one particular story. They're all brought to you by Cowan Equipment. You can go to our Twitter feed at Next Round Live, and vote there every day. It's brought to you by our friends at Cowan Equipment.
Hey, if you're having a hard time finding that new plastic on the seat piece of heavy equipment, check out Cowan Equipment's rental fleet hit list for a wide range of well-maintained equipment from the rental fleet for sale now. Visit cowan.com/featured used equipment or call 1-800-239-COWAN for more information.
Is mustard on a sausage and biscuit common or strange? 67% say common, 33% say strange.
God bless you, Southern America.
Very early voting in that. Very early. If we gave you 2 good tickets to one of these events, which would you choose? Hoover Thompson, 61% in the final voting. Foreigner, 39%.
Surprised it was that close.
Did anybody hear about the Foreigner concert? Was it any good?
I
Anybody
did.
went?
Rocky and I were at Odie's last night, and I got a tweet in the middle of it with a nice shot of Foreigner on stage asking if I was at the concert.
Right.
Rockstar did a good job of mixing in 3 different Foreigner tunes during trivia last night. So I didn't make the concert. It seemed like it was a good crowd. And I'll tell you, the reason that's so skewed is because obviously we're a great football community, but at the same time, people don't have to work the next day after a Friday.
That's a good point.
Okay, you heard the 3 songs. Brown, write down the 3 songs you think Rockstar mixed in last night. I'm going to say...
That was trivia. Was trivia good?
Trivia was really good last night. We had 16 teams, good crowd, beautiful fall weather last night.
No picks, though.
Yeah, your pick guy wasn't there?
My guy did not come and did not ask me for the picks last night. So our question last night, I'll throw this to you.
Throw it out. I'll see if I can get it.
What came first, Pete Davidson or the Colorado Rockies?
I would say the Rockies.
The Rockies close. What is Pete, 22? No, he's older than that, right?
Well, he was on the show a couple of days ago.
I know he was.
That doesn't help me.
Well, 22, I mean, that means he was banging Kate Beckinsale when he was 16.
Good for him.
That would be illegal, I think. He's 28. So
28.
Pete Davidson, 1993. 93.
95?
The Colorado Rockies, 91.
91. Oh, so it is the Rockies. Here's the 3 songs I think Rockstar played last night.
You
I
got
can't see your bottom one.
one right.
Yeah.
I only remember 2. Let me see yours.
I went Double Vision, Jukebox Hero, and Cold as Ice.
You got 2 right. What was your third?
Jupiter Hero, Cold
Did you
as
do
Ice.
Waiting for a Girl?
No, I didn't do because that's too slow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's perfect.
He did Jukebox. He did Cold as Ice, and
But how many people are at Odie's waiting for a girl like you? Just waiting.
Oh my God.
Just waiting.
But that is a tough note to hit, isn't it?
It is.
Not for Brown.
Not for
Hey,
me.
but I did see
Hot-blooded.
something.
Hot-blooded.
Yeah, hot-blooded. So I did see something in trivia that I have never seen before.
You
so
saw something you've never seen before
I
at
have
Otis?
never, and I'll never see it again.
All right.
I will never, ever again, Dunaway, an absolute, I can guarantee you.
Love those.
On your soul, this will never happen again.
On your soul, not mine.
I'm not going to risk mine, but yours.
I'll put it on my soul. How
All
about
right,
that?
go.
Yeah.
What'd you see?
So when somebody wins the round, we bring up a teammate to come spin the wheel. And the wheel's got a ton of categories. Well, one of the categories, which is my personal favorite, is Name That Tune, where Rockstar brings out the guitar, and then that individual gets an opportunity before he starts to play. You've got to pick either the artist or the song title. So the guy went song title. Rockstar goes into, will you start singing this song?
I'm not a perfect person.
you did that one time when I was there.
It's a casual. It's easy, but immediately he goes, "The reason Hooba stank."
Wow.
Yeah, and then he pumps his fist and he goes, I know this because last night I did that exact song at karaoke.
On a Tuesday night.
Wow, this guy's got quite the social
Would
schedule.
you guys agree with me? That's what I told him. Would you agree with me that there's no chance that anybody will ever go to karaoke the night before trivia, do a song that Rockstar randomly selects
By
to play,
Hoobastank.
and they're there to actually call that
I
out?
would say that never happens again.
That is astronomical.
It is.
The
The
odds.
odds.
I wonder how many times Hoobastank gets requested at karaoke. That cannot be very common.
I'm not sure that guy's looking at that thick ass binder. Let
Well,
me check.
and listen-
076744. Oh, I think I got it.
It's a pretty good song, and listening
Yeah, it's
to
a good song.
Rockstar sing it, he did such a good job with it that it seems like it'd be a really difficult karaoke song.
The time I was there, the whole bar at Odie's sang along with Rockstar.
Yeah,
and
every
it
now
is a
and then
good
you'll-
sing-along song.
Every now and then you'll get people singing
Yeah.
along.
My wife just texted me and said, what are you guys talking about? I see on my Twitter feed, she has a column for Next Round Live, something better than jelly just came by, better than jelly. And she wants to know what we're talking about. And
The
I
difference
said,
between jam and jelly.
that's what I said. We were discussing jam or jelly.
Dunaway's a jam guy.
Jeremiah says, how about, he says, throw grape jelly with the mustard. That's an interesting mix.
You know what we call that? A concoction.
Not opposed to it.
I would do the grape jelly with the mayonnaise.
On a biscuit?
On a biscuit?
Are you out of your mind? Did
you say
grape jelly and mayonnaise on a
It'd
biscuit?
be better than mustard.
Mayonnaise in anything.
Are you crazy? On a sausage biscuit, you'd put mayonnaise?
Yeah.
A guy with no name. I didn't know we could have that over there. Guy with no name and no face says, saw the Foreigner show last night. Thumbs up.
He wants to be anonymous about this.
Well, you know,
Everybody
it could have been Luke Graham since he broke up from the band. He doesn't want people to know he's watching.
Yeah, they're still good. They're better without me. All right, part of our show today being brought to you by the great folks at Simpio. If you're starting a company just like ours, God bless you. But make Simpio your first call.
Yeah, it was one of our first calls because we had no idea about the 4 pillars that they take care of: compliance, HR, payroll, and benefits. Simpio, one of the fastest growing companies in the Southeast. Simpio has brought a concept right here to Alabama that many were unaware existed. It has taken over the state. When your organization joins Simpio, you gain access to health care and employer benefits at prices only large organizations get on average. Simpio is saving companies of all sizes and industries over 18% net of their fees. You can join Simpio any time of the year. There's no annual contract, meaning you can get out at any time. That being said, Simpio, in over 3 years of business, 99% retention rate. Call Blake and the guys, 205-635-7467. Tell them the Next Round sent you. You can also go online, go to Simpio.com.
Mel Tucker of Michigan State, with his new contract coming down, a 10-year deal, $95 million, according to reports, on the podcast with Draymond Green, former Michigan State star, now Golden State Warrior. Quote from Tucker, I always made it clear Michigan State is a destination job, not a stepping stone. It was never my intention to come here and just pass through. I believe we're building something special, and we're on the right track. That from Brett McMurphy today, listening to that conversation. Interesting.
Did Nick Saban believe that?
I think Nick Saban probably could have stayed there and had some great success at Michigan State. It would have never been what it is at Alabama.
No, it wouldn't have been. It would have been what it was at LSU.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he could have. Nick Saban could have done what Mark D'Antonio did. I mean, I think those are, pretty light coaches. When Saban was at Michigan State versus when D'Antonio was there, and I mean, Mark D'Antonio, his record was 114-57, 69-39 in conference. I really think that's about as good as you're ever going to do at Michigan State.
So that's a big discussion there about Tucker's contract in our first segment. Yesterday, Mac Brown says, I'm not retiring. There's been talk of, the season winding down and me coaching my last game here at Chapel Hill, doing the rebuild and now moving on. It's been, we are saying this has been somewhat of a disappointing season. Mac Brown says, I'm not retiring. I'm having too much fun at age 70. He and Nick Saban, the only people in the 70-plus club. Mac Brown says, I'm not retiring. I'm not going away.
Well, I will say this year's Mac Brown has looked a lot more what I thought the Mac Brown experience would look like in Chapel Hill.
Absolutely.
And I don't know how much North Carolina you guys have watched, but a lot of times, and boy, this is going to sound bad, but they cut to the sidelines and Mac just looks old and out of it.
He's got a headset on at least.
He does, but...
Do you guys have any idea who Andre Green is?
I don't.
I did not until this morning.
Yeah.
But
I saw it last night.
Yeah, but he is one of the ESPN 300. He's the number 100 prospect in the 2022 class. It came down to North Carolina or Clemson. I was surprised that he chose North Carolina because I didn't realize Mac Brown was going to come back 100%.
Yeah, picks North Carolina over Clemson and Georgia, where there's 3 finalists, but Clemson was the closest. And a 4-star wide receiver, and he's going to North Carolina. So Mac Brown not stepping down. That is an interesting development there. Tonight could be the last home game for David Cutcliffe, Louisville and Duke. No announcement yet, but, Cut's done it for a long, long time.
I think we've got a lot coming up on that game, by the way.
We can do it right here if you want to.
Well,
get it in
I'm not
there.
positive yet.
Okay.
I'm close.
Louisville's 5-5, playing to get bowl eligible. They, of course, have Kentucky at the end. Duke, the home team tonight. It's on national TV. If I said, what is the elevator conversation about David Cutcliffe? What is the quick sell, the quick recap of what David Cutcliffe was to college football?
David Cutcliffe was one of the great quarterback coaches we've ever seen. And you don't have to ask me that. Go ask the Manning family. And I think you would trust their opinion on that one, right?
Yep.
Peyton went to play for him. Eli went to play for him. Archie Manning thought David Cutcliffe knew how to develop 2 of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen play the game. So if that's all you ever said about him, to me, that's enough.
Yeah, the 2 things that I'll always remember is the association with the Manning family and the fact that he got run out of Ole Miss and it completely collapsed their program for a decade plus.
If I asked you this question, it could be a good poll question.
And the fact that he got Duke to a ACC championship game.
Who had Ole Miss closer to Atlanta, David Cutcliffe or Hugh Freeze? In that one season.
Cutcliffe had them.
Hugh Freeze.
It's a hard question. Well, I mean, it was the same because Cutcliffe. Cutcliffe had them in a game against LSU. If they win it, they go there. Freeze had them in a game against Arkansas. If not one of the craziest plays, they still had to win the Egg Bowl.
They still had to win the Egg Bowl. You're right.
So I would say it's Cutcliffe. He had them in a game. It was the game.
But I think they would have won the Egg Bowl. They were going to be heavily favored in that game, but I think that they were so out of sorts after they gave up that 4th and 23.
Yeah. No, I agree completely with you. I think they would have probably won the Egg Bowl and gone to Atlanta. But Cutcliffe literally, and I don't remember, Lance, exactly how that Ole Miss LSU game played out. I remember, as I remember it, Ole Miss had ball in hand with a chance to drive to at least tie it.
Yeah, I think.
Send it to overtime.
And look, our listeners and viewers are the smartest out there. I think Eli Manning slipped on the final possession on like a big 3rd down.
Yeah.
And then they had like a 4th and 17.
Something like that. I remember them having ball in hand with a chance to drive that, as I remember, it would have only tied the game. I don't think they could have won it on that drive.
Blow you guys away. I was watching in a sports bar in Chandler, Arizona.
Why?
I was visiting a friend.
Okay.
But that was the night that Cornell took first play from scrimmage back,
That
Iron
is
Bowl.
right.
It was like an ESPN2 Iron Bowl.
Was it really the same night? I
Yeah.
remember that being earlier in the
Yeah,
year. I think that was 2003. Am I right about that?
That was the Go Crazy Cadillac. Go
Yeah.
Crazy run.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the old Magnolia Bowl, as they like to call it. December 3rd. Oh, no, wait a minute.
Jay Price, center, stepped on Eli Manning's foot.
Now that could have been
Didn't slip.
that could have been a Friday, Saturday, but I'm
No, it
almost
was a
positive
Saturday night.
same-
Yeah, I
same
remember
Saturday.
watching it.
Yeah. Interesting that David Cutcliffe could be hanging up. No announcement, no hint to that from David, but at some point it gets to that. And we talked a little bit briefly yesterday about where Duke would go looking for a coach and how you would handle that. Hope Cut coaches as long as he wants, maybe another year in him or what. Would love to see him go out on top. This has not been that year. Duke's program has dropped back the last couple of years, and that's why people are speculating that tonight could be his last go-around at home for the Duke Blue Devils. All right, as we roll on this morning, we will tell you, looking ahead, still to come on the show, we've got Shane Beamer, head coach of South Carolina, who will be with us at 11:15. Also, Stan White will be with us at 12:30 today. No John Mechie as usual. He's got a little scheduling conflict today. He'll join us tomorrow. Is that the plan?
That is the plan. Tomorrow at noon.
Mechie tomorrow at noon, not today if you're planning ahead. So Beamer, Shane Beamer at 11:10, 11:15, somewhere around there, and Stan White at 12:30, a little bit later on in the show. That's our look ahead, brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision, keeping everything in clear sight for you.
Yeah, 969-8100. Make that call today. It's a call that I made almost 2 decades ago. I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. After the 12-minute procedure, 2015 vision. Better than 2020. I've still got it. Call 969-8100. Ask for Amy. Schedule the hassle-free consultation. If you've been wasting the money on contacts and solutions each and every year, now is the time. Stop procrastinating. Make the call today. 969-8100 or online, michelsonlaservision.com.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Think about this scenario for one moment. You wake up, step on the floor, and you feel water under your feet. You got a leak, you got a problem. I've got the answer. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. Dry Tech Water Restoration. They respond quickly and reply within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They've got crews ready to go at all times 24/7, and they work for the customer. It's always the number one priority. Your first call isn't the insurance company. It's Dry Tech Water Restoration. 205-637-0143.
Banking isn't just about your money, it's about you. It's about getting help with what you need when you need it. AmFirst was founded for members just like you, and they've been putting those members first since 1936. Putting you first means services that grow and change with the times to serve you better. Now, every bank has their own app, but that's just it. It's theirs, not yours. The AmFirst app was made for you, so it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. You can even customize the app, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards that will make you feel like the number one priority you are. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you from AmFirst. Visit any AmFirst location or amfirst.org today. That's amfirst.org. America's first federal credit union, federally insured by the NCUA.
Fans of Twin Peaks, make sure you stay up to date by signing up for their e-club. Stay up to date on all things Twin Peaks and score free stuff. Signing up is easy. Just visit twinpeaksrestaurant.com/peaks-club to get started today.
It's nonstop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play over 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. The Birmingham Racecourse Casino's 7 days of giveaways is going on right now. We're giving away $100,000. That's right, $100,000 will be given away at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Located off I-459 exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Golf is hard enough as it is. It should be fun and enjoyable. That's why you should check out my friends with Golf Tees, the place to go for punny golf apparel. Quality golf apparel with a sense of humor. To check out the fun, go to officialgolftees.com for the latest in golf t-shirts and hats. Quality and fun apparel, priced for everyone, no matter your budget. Again, check them out on their website, officialgolftees.com, or on all social media platforms at Official Golf Tees. Relax and swing hard in case you hit it. officialgolftees.com.
Boy Frank 79629, stand by.
In school, I thought I might want to be a lawyer or a therapist. Mom always said I could talk to anyone. But being cooped up in an office all day didn't really appeal to me. And then I found a job working as a deputy in Shelby County. Now I spend my days helping people, sometimes on the worst days of their life. Nearly always, they just want someone to listen. And I've always been good at that. Plus, it pays great. Plenty of time off, great benefits, and each day is a new challenge, and I never stop talking. Or smiling.
If a flexible work schedule, a take-home card, paid vacations, a gym at work, and $51,000 plus a year to start sounds good to you, maybe you should think about a career as a deputy in Shelby County, Alabama. Change your life. Change your world. Look us up on Indeed.com and on Insta.
Being a boot fanatic, I have found the perfect place to shop for the greatest selection of boots with brands like Lucchese, Ariat, Dan Post, Twisted X, Justin, and more. Hey, Tom Luganbill here, telling you Jack's Western and Outdoor Wear in Coleman is the place to go. Western boots, fashion boots, and work boots. Jack's has them all. Plus, a great selection of apparel and boots for the entire family. Jack's Western and Outdoor Wear is a one-stop shop for all your holiday gift-giving needs. Jack's Western and Outdoor Wear, I-65, exit 304. Just look for the Big Red Building and follow Jack's on Facebook and Instagram.
Hey, if you're looking for a local agent to handle all of your insurance needs, you need to call my good friend James Anthony at the James Anthony Agency, 205-985-7717, Hoover, Birmingham, Northport, and Tuscaloosa. Has been in business over 20 years. The James Anthony Agency.
All right, before we get on the phones, the Pepsi hotline, you can call in too, 205-734-0923, 734-0923. LT, tell us about the great folks at Nut Dust.
Dunaway, they are redefining the use and feel of body powder. We've got a special Nut Dust package coming up for the holiday season. Once we get that all together, we will give you more information on that. Nut Dust is talc-free. It's an all-natural body powder. It's great for all over the body, feet, below the belt, available in 4 great scents, Naked, Voyager, Laddie, and Wildling. Imagine getting up Christmas morning, checking the stocking, and you've got Nut Dust there. You can order right now. It's great stocking stuffer, officialnutdust.com.
Going into a big weekend here locally, UAB playing to keep their conference championship hopes alive against Texas San Antonio. Alabama trying to keep their national championship hopes alive at home against Arkansas. And Auburn on the road at South Carolina trying to get by with life without Bo Nix. You'll hear from TJ Finley in a moment. But first, Brett, who is from New Mexico, but on the road around America. Hey, Brett, how are you?
Good. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing great, man.
Out here in West Texas. Now, before I ask Lance a question about a game this weekend, Jim, that Instagram picture I sent you,
yes.
If you want to send that to Forrester and let him put it up on the slide, I'll tell you a little bit more about how I came across that yesterday.
Okay, let me see.
I didn't tell you on Instagram.
I'm going to try to get it quickly over to Forrester and see if Forrester can get it up. All right, you keep rolling.
I'm headed back to Florida, and I had to stop. I was looking for a place to go to the bathroom, and there's a souvenir shop. Some people call it a tourist trap, and it had a Dairy Queen in a bathroom, so I stopped to take care of my business, and I came out, and the first thing I was looking for something for my wife, and I come across this table that had Tiny Tot stuff on it. And the first one I saw said, if you can read this, make me a bottle. I was like, no. And then the very next one is the one that I sent you the picture of. And I bought it along with a couple others because you have a dad-to-be there in the studio with you.
Oh, this is for Rockstar. All right.
Yeah.
We got some for Rockstar.
Yep. That's for Rockstar. And it said, and for the people that can't see it, it says potty like a rock star, and it's got a guitar on it. I'm like, that is so rock star shit right
That
there.
is perfect.
Thank you,
Yes, potty like a rock star.
No way we'll get it up now. You hit the punchline, but I've got it going to Forrester. Forrester, it doesn't have to be something fancy. Just as quick as you can get it up, we'll show everybody. It's a great T-shirt. Great T-shirt.
Yeah, I'll be home probably Wednesday next week, and if I don't bring it down to the studio, I'll mail it down there to you.
All right. That is very nice of you, Brett.
So, Lance, convince me why Ohio State is going to beat Michigan State. I listen to you guys, and I listen to a couple other different people. I just think that I just don't see an 18-point win in that game.
Yeah, there's the photo, by the way. Potty like a rock star. It's really
Potty
good.
like a rock star. Look at that.
Yeah, here's what I would tell you, Brett. Michigan State's defense is awful, especially their secondary. And C.J. Stroud is in a groove right now, and Purdue's defense is so much better than Michigan State's, and we saw that head-to-head just a couple of weeks ago. Purdue hadn't allowed more than 30 points in any game this past year. Ohio State had 45 at half, and I just think the balance on offense, Travion Henderson running the football, Olave, Wilson, so many good wideouts. Stroud's in his own right now. You know, if Michigan State can be plus 2 or 3 in turnovers and Kenneth Walker can take the game over running the football, Michigan State would have an outside shot. I just think that this thing will get away from them early, and it becomes a track meet, and I don't think they can keep up with Ohio State.
Okay, well, all right. You get deeper into it than I do. I think that contract extension is mind blowing. I agree with what you guys are saying.
Well, I will tell you, it would be a nice.
He hasn't done anything.
He hasn't done anything.
No, he hasn't done anything, and he's only in his second year there. His third year overall as a head coach.
But Brett,
what do you think of this score?
Can you imagine? It's probably close to the number.
What you got,
45-24.
45-24?
45-24.
But can you imagine the option 3, the finger that Mel Tucker could give everyone after this game if they were to beat Ohio State?
Oh yeah, I can't see that, Jim. What you got up there?
I had 45 for Ohio State, 24 for Michigan State.
I think Ohio State scores in the 50s here.
Strangely, though,
wow.
I never understand. No, I do know why you did that. Never mind. You had the lower number on top.
Well, because Michigan State's at Ohio State.
Yeah, I don't think.
This is the first of 2 weekends that what I said at the beginning of the year has to happen. It's got to start this weekend for all the – because I said Oregon's not going to win the Pac-12. I said Oklahoma's not going to win the Big 12. And I said Ohio State wouldn't make the playoffs. And it's all got to start this weekend.
Brett, thank you.
Thank you. Ruxer, just to show Brown what I grew up with, in the 70s, if you'll get on YouTube, and we'll ask for forgiveness later, just Google or YouTube search Prudential College Scoreboard. He always asks, why do you have the visiting team on top and the home team on bottom?
Well,
shouldn't it be the high score first?
High score goes first.
That is the way you say it.
Yeah.
You say Ohio State 45, Michigan State 24, but on a scoreboard show, you've got to pre-build the scoreboard show, right?
Right.
You've got to pre-build the graphics.
Yeah.
Or back in the day before you had graphics, so the team on top is the visitor, unless you're doing Premier League soccer.
See, now everything now, though, comes with video, so I see who the home team is. So you really don't have to do that anymore.
Oh, really? You're instantly, the ball's at the 14-yard line, you can tell where the game is?
You know, one of them's got a dark jersey, one of them's got a light jersey.
Are you what we call a traditionalist?
Oh, God. Yeah, Dunaway picked out one of 130. Yeah.
Are you a traditionalist, Dunaway?
I just think there's certain ways things are done. You always, when you're updating somebody on the score.
Don't you do your own laundry, though?
I do.
It's not very traditional.
It is not. It's untraditional there. Untraditional there. People are joking that that mustard and sausage, mustard on a biscuit and sausage, or sausage and biscuit, is not uncommon. It's us saying the word "and." It's a sausage biscuit, not sausage and biscuit.
I don't know. That's the way I always heard it growing up, Mr. Visitor team first. I always heard it sausage and biscuit, gravy and biscuit.
It's pimento cheese, but people will say pimento and cheese.
Yeah, but I've never heard that now.
I think they're making fun that we're being too proper. It's a sausage biscuit. It's a
it's a that's what I was saying. I was like sausage and biscuit.
That's the way I always heard it. Sausage and
biscuit.
biscuit.
Could I get a ham and burger?
I would bet most people rolling through whatever your drive-through is this morning say, "Can I get a sausage biscuit?"
All right, that's it right there, Rockstar. Yeah, that's it. Can we punch that up?
There you go.
See, that's the way it used to be right there.
Those are good-looking
Why do we
graphics.
have the star by Texas?
Did Atari do
Texas
those?
just clinched.
Oh.
Texas just clinched.
Are they 6-1-0?
They are 6-1
Damn,
and 0.
Rice is having a shitty season. 1-4-1.
How far have we come?
Yeah, this is the way. This was the Prudential College scoreboard. I go and watch these old shows sometimes just to, remember I probably had TCU in the game.
Ooh, Egg Bowl got out of hand.
Mississippi just took it to Mississippi
Those
State.
almost look like flight numbers instead of records back then.
They really do. I would agree with Lance.
48-0 Mississippi. Look at those guys.
Who is that? I can't see that far.
One of those guys is Tom Brockmeyer, I think.
Living or dead?
Got to be dead. They're close to it right there. But they used to come on at halftime and post game. This is before you had SportsCenter and ESPN, and that's the way the world was back then. Look at number 1 Nebraska, number 2 Oklahoma.
What a game, 35-31.
So this must have been like the 1971 Prudential College scoreboard, right? That's the game.
One thing I noticed by our exercise right there is that the road team was ahead every time because the bigger number was up top.
1971.
1971.
How about that? I named the Prudential College scoreboard year all off that Oklahoma-Nebraska game.
It was so, and we've talked about this before. You remember when Herb would call to get scores?
Oh, yeah, on the score phone,
Yeah, and I just remember running to a payphone, and every 10 minutes it would update and having to get scores that way. I can't even imagine back then.
That's the way it was back then. Part of the show being brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Yes, Mortgage Right. If you are in the market, home buying market right now, this is the time to reach out to our friends at Mortgage Right. Home means something different to everyone, but at Mortgage Right, home is always about you. Their top priority is helping you navigate the home buying landscape, and their team of experts, they are here to answer questions, provide solutions. Whether you're in the market for your first home or looking to refinance the one you're already in, Mortgage Right is here to guide you every single step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to get started. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Mike Bobo being trolled by South Carolina fans as he returns there with Auburn this weekend. Thanks to Saturday Down South, we'll read you some of those trolls. They're sort of humorous if you take them tongue-in-cheek. That's coming up on the show. When we come back, part of the show being brought to you as well by the great folks at the University of Montevallo. If you're looking for a perfect place for your son or daughter to call home for 4 years of school, think about the University of Montevallo. Schedule an in-person tour right now at montevallo.edu. Montevallo.edu. 75 majors. That list is growing every day as the world continues to change. You can make your dreams come true. Find that path at the University of Montevallo. If you're an athlete, 21 NCAA Division II fully funded scholarship sports there. Buildings going up, theater, business centers being rebuilt, mass communications there as well. Beautiful university. The University of Montevallo, montevallo.edu.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Are you sick of leasing your life away? Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. Mortgage Right has the cure. With locations nationwide, our friends at Mortgage Right are dedicated to making the home buying process easy. They are eager to offer tips, tools, and a staff of industry professionals to move you in with confidence. So if you're ready to let go of the leasing life and start living life, Mortgage Right can help. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to get started. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
There are few things in life more important than getting a good night's sleep. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. I learned that after going to Sleep Outfitters and getting my sleep outfitting. What is an outfitting, you might ask? Well, I simply went to the Sleep Outfitters off Highway 280, sat down and answered just a few short questions, and in moments, they had me laying on a mattress in the store so I could pick it out myself. The delivery was so easy. They set it up right there in my home, and I have an amazing night's sleep every night, and my life is better because of it. You can get that same night's sleep by finding a location at sleepoutfitters.com. And right now, you could win a $1,000 MasterCard gift card from Sleep Outfitters. This is a special sweepstakes, and it is just for our listeners. So go to sleepoutfitters.com/Ryan to enter. That's sleepoutfitters.com/Ryan. This is exclusive to the Next Round audience, so go try to win. Discover more about Sleep Outfitters and how they can help you complete your personal sleep profile, and you can start sleeping better too, and you can sleep with a $1,000 MasterCard gift card in your pocket now. sleepoutfitters.com/Ryan.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Wayne's. Look, fall is here. You want to enjoy that outdoor weather. Imagine sitting out there on the Saturday, manning the grill. You're watching football. You don't want to deal with the mosquitoes. Don't let the mosquitoes ruin your perfect day. The professionals at Wayne's can protect you, your family, and your pets. Call today, 1-866-WAYNES1. You can always go online, callwaynes.com. Fall weather is here. Enjoy it with the family, mosquito-free. You can do it with our friends at Wayne's.
Dale's Seasoning started right here in Birmingham, Alabama, and now it's #1 in America. And now they've got a new product. It's the Gold Label from Dale's Seasoning, a new condiment-style product. You can dip it, dunk it, or pour it on your burgers, chicken fingers, steaks, and French fries. You guys wanted it, and Dale's delivered. It's available in stores throughout the Southeast. It's a fast, fun, and easy way to enjoy Dale's at your tailgate or cookout. Dale's Seasoning, the new Gold Label. You got to try it.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Farm Folio. If you're concerned about market volatility or inflation, Farm Folio can help you diversify your portfolio into cash-flowing farmland property. We all know about rental real estate. Cash flow and appreciation are the name of the game. With Farm Folio's productive farmland lots, your trees act as the tenants, and they pay you in fruit, which is sold by Farm Folio's international sales team to the likes of Walmart and Costco, ultimately generating cash flow for you. As your cash flow increases, your property value also increases. Just like tenant-occupied real estate, the best part is you don't have to be a farmer. You own, they farm, and you earn. This is the way it works at Farm Folio. For more information, you can go online, check everything out today. Go to farmfolio.net. That's farmfolio.net. Check it out today. If you're concerned about that market volatility or inflation, Farm Folio is your best friend. Go online today, farmfolio.net. Let's face it, we all have a favorite something. This is LT talking about my favorite men's store, Shea's in downtown Homewood. Why do I like this store so much? And what makes Shea's so unique? Well, to start, they have been in business since 1922. Yes, 1922. And they offer an eclectic mix of menswear brands from classic to contemporary, such names as Xenia, Canali, Peter Millar, and many more. They have an in-house alteration personnel who understands that fit is key. And Shea's gets it right. Whether they're fitting a suit, shirt, or jeans, they offer unbeatable service with a sales staff that truly understands the products and how they fit your individual lifestyle in any occasion. Whether it's your work, leisure time with friends, or a formal event like a wedding, stop by Shea's and see if you don't agree. This store is simply the best. That is Shea's in historic downtown Homewood, where you will feel at home when you arrive and well-dressed when you leave. Hey, are you suffering from that lower back pain? Get moving this fall with our friends at Stretch Zone. Great for golfers, runners, desk jockeys, weekend warriors, and more. To learn more, book an appointment, 205-509-2349 or online, stretchzonebeham.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Will you guys give me that an offense can quote-unquote not change but look differently if the personnel is different?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, if you went from an average quarterback to an elite quarterback, yeah.
Or one that does one thing better than the other.
Right.
Like I keep reading or being told or hearing TJ Finley say the offense isn't changing with me at quarterback. But it can look very different with TJ at quarterback than Bo Nix because they have different things they do better than the other. Characteristics are different. They, throw different passes better than the other, so it can look very different.
Yeah, look, Mike Bobo is going to run the exact same offense. The same plays are going to be called. The difference, I think, is going to be that Auburn offensive line, which has struggled, in Bo's ability to extend plays and, get out of trouble with his feet. TJ Finley's not going to be able to do that. So, to me, this offense is going to look much different by that account. When Bo was at his best this year against LSU in Arkansas, he was creating with his feet.
The headlines this hour brought to you by our friends at Odie's. You'll hear from TJ Finley in just a second.
Another fantastic night at Odie's. Remember, every Wednesday night it's Odie's Team Trivia, but if you're looking for a big-time lunch, you can get in, go see Will Haver and that great staff today. Sit outside, enjoy this fall weather. And this weekend, you'll have live music on Friday and Saturday. Enjoy those ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. It's a Birmingham institution. Great food from the burgers, award-winning wings, great sandwiches, including my personal favorite, the Diablo sandwich. Get in today for lunch or dinner. Odie's Tavern, Crestline Village.
Basketball tonight, UAB 3-0 on the road at South Carolina, 6 o'clock on that one. Sanford's out in Corvallis. They play Oregon State tonight after losing to the San Francisco Dons back on Monday, 8 o'clock Pac-12 Network. For that one, for the Sanford basketball game tonight. College football action tonight, Louisville and Duke. Louisville trying to become bowl eligible. NFL action tonight, Patriots and Mac Jones, 6-4. Big game in Atlanta against the Falcons. That is 7:20 on Fox. Alabama's Will Anderson, one of the Nagurski Award finalists, top defensive player in football, along with Jordan Davis and Kayvon Thibodeau of Georgia and Oregon, respectively. And Michigan State has a new deal for Mel Tucker. According to reports, it's 10 years and $95 million. That's one of the bigger games happening this weekend. Ohio State hosting Michigan State. Auburn's TJ Finley here on staying engaged when he wasn't in the game.
Me preparing to be the starter each week is only getting me better. As a player, as a teammate, as a leader on this team, it's only allowing my guys to see the best side of me on and off the field. And my ultimate goal is to make it to the NFL. So whether I'm the backup or the starter, I have to prepare to be able to play and go in at any given time. So my mindset has been, since I've been here, prepare every day like I'm the starter, because, a lot of guys look up to the quarterback position. A lot of guys look at the quarterback as the focal point of the team outside of the head coach. So as long as those guys see me doing my job and getting the job done as a backup, then when my time comes as a starter, it's easy for them to believe in me and trust that I'll get the job done.
So all you can do as a backup is prepare to play. But do you guys know when the last time he was in a game?
Georgia State, right? Well, no, it was Saturday at the end of the game.
Saturday.
Yeah, other than at the end of last game.
And then they strip
LSU.
LSU.
Yeah, LSU.
October 9th.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
but,
it's been a minute.
Hey, can I remind you guys, Auburn still can win the SEC?
Well, you've read this 6-team tie deal?
Well,
Is that what you've read?
It got brought up. My buddy Chad brought it up to me, former Auburn player, Auburn fan. He jokingly brought it up. He said, "Did you guys talk about it on the next round?" And I said, "I didn't even know it existed."
Yeah, I've seen it on Twitter.
But it is so silly. But I've got it right in front of me. Only 7 things have got to happen.
Only 7.
Well, in Aaron Suttles, we were doing Bama and Bourbon the other day, and he was like, 10-team parlays hit every weekend. And I said, I get that.
All right, make this a 17 parlay and tell me how you feel about it.
Here's how it's got to go down.
All right, go.
Arkansas's got to beat Alabama this week.
I mean, doable, but I'll be surprised if there's a longer shot on there than that.
Ole Miss has got to beat Vanderbilt.
Well, that's done.
Yeah. Auburn's got to beat South Carolina.
That's doable, very doable.
Mississippi State's got to beat Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl.
That's
doable.
Very doable.
Arkansas beats Missouri.
Doable.
Yep. That should happen.
Auburn beats Alabama in the Iron Bowl.
I mean, it's doable. I mean, the 2 biggest upsets involve Alabama right now.
And A&M beats LSU.
Yeah. I mean,
all those are doable, really.
Yeah. If that happens, Auburn represents the SEC West.
Give me those.
I wonder how many Auburn fans even realize that. I mean, it's the most for all of that to happen, the most unlikely is Alabama to lose back-to-back games, right?
I've seen for the last couple of weeks the 6-team tie scenario being out there. All 6 teams finishing.
That's what it would be.
That's what that is.
It would be a 6-way tie for first
Auburn
place in 5-3, but Auburn would win the tiebreaker.
So the two most out there things are Arkansas and Auburn beating Alabama. Give me the % chance that happens, because really the other ones aren't that crazy. I mean, those are either games the team you mentioned winning should win, or they're toss-up games.
I haven't looked, but I would assume the ESPN predictor that they have there is probably 79% to 81%.
That Alabama beats.
That Alabama wins those games.
Yeah, so, but to lose both of them, what is that, a less than 5% chance Alabama loses both those games?
Well, right now it is a 0.2% chance that those 7 scenarios actually happen.
That's primarily because of Alabama, Arkansas, and Alabama, Auburn.
I think if Alabama played Arkansas 10 times in Bryant-Denny, I think Alabama wins 9.9% of those. 99% of those games, and if Bo Nix was playing,
well, it's a different story.
Then you got a different story.
Yeah. Speaking of Bo Nix, he's not playing, but Mike Bobo is going back to South Carolina. Rockstar, we'll get to that other TJ Finley bite a little bit later on. Part of our show today is being brought to you by Brown, one of your great friends.
The Standifer Insurance Agency. Jessup Standifer is a good dude. Another guy that's been up here hanging with us in studio. Listen, auto rates have lowered 4 times in the last 12 months, so now is the time to get an insurance checkup. Let's do it with my man, Jessup Standifer. Call them today, have your coverages ready, what you pay each month, and do the insurance checkup, see if you could save the way I am. 664-3200, 664-3200, or on the web, StandiferInsuranceGroup.com.
I mean, for a while, right? For a while, Mike Bobo had that offense cooking until, they ran into, that one game where it just sort of went south on them against Texas A&M. But for a while, Bobo had that going. If you had to judge, first year of these two coordinators at Auburn, Bobo and Derek Mason, where are you on them?
Mason was approaching A territory for a little bit, but I think of late, though, that defense didn't play terrible at Texas A&M. It did play terrible against Mississippi State. It was okay against Ole Miss. I would say Derek Mason is a B-, C+.
Would you put both of them almost the same grade?
Let me think on Bobo. Because I'm still not there on Mason yet. I think B- is where I would go.
I think I would go.
Here's why I'll give him a B-.
Yeah, I think I would go B-, C+ on both. And real quick on Bobo, just the progression of Bo Nix. Bo Nix was a flat quarterback. Bo Nix only had 3 picks. I think Matt Corral's the quarterback with
that's eligible.
Eligible that had less interceptions than Bo Nix this year.
That's a fact.
Yeah, Bo Nix has been playing really clean, good football. So I got to give Mike Bobo a little bit of credit there.
Yeah, here's one thing I would say about Mason that would cause me to maybe grade him on a little bit of a curve is it's not his fault that Popo has missed most of this season. And you got to give me that's a pretty big missing piece for them.
It is.
And, there he was standing on the sideline again Saturday. And this is not meant as a criticism to him. I'm just saying he was on the sidelines again as that game was unraveling for them. He could have made a difference there. So I would probably go B- with him. With Bobo, I think C+ is the best I'm willing to go.
Bobo returns to South Carolina, though, and some bad blood in this conference when you have a coach who was at one place that didn't meet the expectations you thought he would, and he's coming back. They're having fun with him on social media. I always love these, and you could insert any name here, any coach on an opposing team, any player, any digital platform sports host you want to, and it's all still the same. Hustle and Crow, and I'm reading this from Saturday Down South. They do a good job of throwing this together. Hustle and Crow says, Mike Bobo sips coffee and goes, every single time. You ever seen those kind of people?
Mm-hmm. I don't spend a lot of time with coffee drinkers. Let me say this, though, about Derek Mason. The defense has only given up more than 24 twice. And if you take away the second half against Mississippi State, I think we would have given him an A. I really do. I think if they would have held on and dominated Mississippi State, I think we would look at this and we would be like, Georgia scored 34. Outside of this, Auburn's defense has kept them in every single game and won them a lot of games. So I don't know if it's fair to have this snapshot of 10 games and to have one half and to take him from possibly an A to a C+. I got to give him a B.
So a B for Derek Mason for him. More of Mike Bobo getting trolled by South Carolina fans. Mike Bobo asked questions during the movie, even though it's the first time you've seen the movie too. You been around those people?
Yes, I do.
You've got one of those people in your life?
Nightly, yes.
So
really?
Nancy does that?
Yeah.
So she asked you
questions. Who is that? I don't know. I've never seen this before.
No, that's the worst early on. So wait, what's going on right here?
Yeah.
Hell, you and I are watching it together.
So did he kill her?
What's happened?
So did he kill her? I think they're going to reveal it by the end of the movie. I don't know.
I've become more self-aware lately. One of my big flaws in watching a movie with Maggie is that if there's something that's happened on the screen, I will turn to her and say, he's a double agent. And she's like, I know, I'm watching it too.
Yes, I'm watching right here with you.
But I will try to.
So you want to be the smart one to explain.
No, I'm trying to make sure she's keeping up, and really, it's insulting to her that she, you're making it sound like I'm not smart enough to understand that I'm watching the same bit of. You've got the same facts I've got. I've got it figured out there, Sherlock. This guy, Mike Bobo, is the type of guy who won't let a person with 2 items go first at a checkout when he has a full cart.
Yeah, I don't find myself in that situation a lot, but I would generally do that.
I do
rarely do I have the full cart.
I do it a lot, yeah, because I never have the full cart.
I mean, if I go to the grocery store, my goal is to get out of there in the express lane. I don't want to go more than 10 items.
Now the 10 items or less, do you ever catch yourself in there with 12?
Oh, sure, yeah.
No, I don't. I actually count.
No, I count once I get up there.
I do count, but
I'm going to push the limit.
But the guy in front of me has 26.
I mean,
it's not fair.
I mean, listen, there are if it's backed up, yeah, that's one thing. But if nobody's in the express lane, I'll just hammer through there with 12 to 15.
And they don't care.
Yeah.
I'm a rule follower, man. I'm 10. I get confused sometimes. Like if I've got individual Greek yogurts, there's a sale for like
count them all.
4 for $5, and I've got 4 or 5 for $4, whatever it is, and I've got that number. Do I count them each individually?
Yes,
Okay.
That's an item. Do they have to go?
They do.
All right,
I hate doing the self-checkout.
Oh, I don't do it. I don't do it.
A lot of people do it now.
You don't. There's some places where it's your only option.
I walked out of a
And
grocery store the other day.
9 times out of 10, the machine's broken.
Yeah. Walked out of the grocery store the other day. Just left them. I had a little basket of like 3 things.
Why do you feel so strongly about that?
I just didn't want to check out. I feel like we're taking jobs away from good, hardworking Americans so I can check it out myself.
He hadn't looked. There's a lot of jobs wanted postings.
Yeah, I think if they wanted the job.
I like to have people. I like waiters and waitresses too. I like, I don't like to order up front all the time, and it's good some places. Don't like doing it all the time. I like to go sit down.
I agree with you. I would rather sit down if I'm going to go out for a meal, and I would rather have somebody wait on me.
And I like having someone check out my groceries because I'm always nervous. To be truthful with you, I'm always nervous. I'm gonna screw it up. I'm not gonna do it right.
But I like making my own drinks.
I don't either. I'd rather you make my drink.
I'd rather make my own.
I'm not good at it. I'm not good at checking myself out. I'm definitely not good waiting on myself.
I'll be right back. I'm going to the kitchen.
You're not good at ordering.
I am a pain in my butt.
I'm taking too long to order.
A pain in my butt's what I am. Part of our show today being brought to you by our friends at Ship Happens. Ship Happens, a longtime sponsor with us here. When we finish telling you about Ship Happens, I do want to bring up something Adam Rittenberg brought up yesterday, and I find this interesting at ESPN.com. But first, tell us about Ship Happens.
In today's ever-changing market, your supply chain major factor in maintaining and growing relationships with your customers. Safe, on-time, and affordable shipments, they are crucial. With over 20 years combined experience in relationships, Jeff and Griffin at Ship Happens, they've got the ability to get ship done from LTL, van, flatbed, heavy haul, and expedited. Ship Happens, ready to bring a solution to all of your transportation problems. Don't have an accident and ship yourself. Call the guys at Ship Happens, 205-605-8101.
It's behind a paywall at ESPN.com, but Adam Rittenberg was talking about the coaching carousel yesterday, and he was talking about jobs that could, because of the chain effect of one job and the other, that could continue to open up out in the Pac-12. And he threw out one name that, though he's been at a job only for 1 year, may have an interest in getting back out to that part of the country where he's more comfortable recruiting and where he thinks he eventually would like to go. Do you know the name? Would you like to take a guess? First-year coach.
Is he a first-year coach or first year at this stop?
First year at this stop.
I feel like you're baiting me into saying Brian Harsin.
It is Brian Harsin. Yeah. I could not see him leaving after 1 year at Auburn. Could anybody in their wildest dreams see Brian Harsin leaving after 1 year?
Yeah, I mean, if he got if he got offered Washington or USC, he'd bolt.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one everyone keeps saying is that his name will be mentioned in the Washington circles.
But, if I'm a Washington fan, again, just 3 weeks ago, I thought you could make an argument that he was your SEC Coach of the Year. I thought Auburn did a good job hiring outside of the box. I think he's done a pretty good job this year. But if I'm a Washington fan, do I get overly excited about Brian Harsin? Probably not. If I'm a USC fan, I'm deflated with Brian Harsin.
Why do you think it's a given he would go to Washington? Just because of the Chris Peterson tie, getting back out west? What is it?
And look, and I could be totally wrong. He might relish this pressure. And I as soon as I say this, Washington just fired their coach and he's 7-6
after 13 games.
So apparently there's a lot of pressure there.
I mean, Brian Harsin in Washington terms is only hot seat.
That's right.
Based on this season.
Yeah,
he's on the hot
Auburn's a
seat.
better job than Washington, but Washington is a good job, though.
Yeah,
and if he wanted to get back to the West Coast, that's one of the few West Coast jobs that you would take a look at. I mean, how many West Coast jobs? USC, Oregon, Washington
that might be done.
That's probably
it.
I'm just saying, if you want to get back out west, That would be the only reason.
I
don't think he leaves at all. I don't even know if he ggets offered a job, but I think he stays put. And again, he's done a pretty good job.
And it's the Peterson connection. That's why you guys would even say that's a possibility.
I mean, imagine this: like Peterson was one of his mentors. If Chris Peterson called him up and said, "Hey, look, this Washington job is a gem,"
that's a hard sell after they've just fired the coach that won the division last year.
But see, that guy was handpicked by Chris Peterson.
Exactly.
So why is he getting to have a say so in this guy too?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he is.
I would imagine,
according to reports, the president is leaning on Chris Peterson to help in the search.
It would seem to me Chris Peterson would be a little bit bitter about this.
I would be.
The guy I handpicked, you just fired after he won the division last year?
I'm going to bring in another one of my friends.
Because he you want to pin this that he hit a player on the helmet with his open hand? Come on, man.
Unless he's getting a finder's fee.
Yeah, I don't. If I am Brian,
what's a bird dog fee on a head coach?
Oh, I bet it's steep.
A used car used to be $100.
I just call up. What's that group that always looks for him? That's the best job. That Chuck Ninus, was that the guy's name?
Yeah,
there's a whole industry of people that.
Yeah, he had the best job in America.
It seems like it's always $30,000.
I don't know what it is, but they would always hire this guy. He would apparently hand him a list that The Athletic or ESPN ran and collect his check.
Now, Riley's got a good point. Has Harsin been vaxxed? If not, he can't go to Washington.
Yeah, because they got rid of the Washington State coach.
It's true.
Yeah. No, it's 100% true.
Yeah.
Another selling point.
Yes. Well, how'd that come?
John wants to know if Auburn came open immediately, which, again, no way in the world you leave Auburn after 1 year, in my opinion. But if it did come open, with the landscape we've got right now with LSU, USC, Washington, those job opens.
It's the third best job.
Where would it would fall behind LSU and USC?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody would argue that.
Okay. That's not a bad place to be right now.
I can't believe we're talking about
I really can't either.
Well, I don't think
incredible.
we are.
I saw the report too.
Adam Rittenberg wrote it. A lot of people in our Farm Folio chat room said Washington. So it's it's not like we're saying Lincoln Riley's leaving Oklahoma to go to LSU.
That would be more believable.
That would be more believable
to me than Brian Harsin going to Washington.
Even after Bruce Feldman last night says, from what he hears, Lincoln Riley is not leaving Norman for LSU. I think is what he phrased it.
I'm not trying to discredit Bruce. I'm just saying if you told me one of these two things happened, Lincoln Riley took the LSU job or Brian Harsin took the Washington job, I would say I'll believe A more than B.
I would too. And didn't you just say somebody that was in our Farm Folio chat who's in the business said that Lincoln is going to LSU?
Yeah, I mean she's in the business of representing people. Yeah.
So I'm just saying there's people on both sides. There are people that believe Lincoln Riley is really taking a look at this job, and then people like Bruce that don't believe it's going to happen.
Basketball last night, bad loss for Vandy, at least when it comes to scoring points. They only got 37. They lose to VCU 48-37. Michigan State beats Butler, Oklahoma State over NC State. Interesting basketball tonight. We told you UAB with a big one at South Carolina, 6 o'clock tip for that one. Samford and Oregon State tonight out in Corvallis. If you've got the Pac-12 network, you can watch that one at 8. Ohio State and Xavier tonight, part of a doubleheader on FS1 at 5:30. Bama State's on the road at Iowa, and a good one over in Oxford. Marquette and Ole Miss, 2 unbeaten teams, 6 o'clock ESPN2. That's the round ball happening tonight. Should be a lot of fun for that. When we come back, Rockstar's viewing menu. Let me tell you about my buddy Greg from Pell City for just a second. If you're looking to have your roof replaced, there's no better guy to call than Greg from Pell City. Tremendous human being, trustworthy. The insurance companies love him. But some of you don't know you need a new roof yet. It's easy to tell when you've had a storm, right, and there's shingles all over your yard. You still want to call Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. They can take care of you. 205-542-3531. But what about if you've had no roof damage ever? You just are sitting there going about your business and you're like, God, when did we replace our roof last? We've never replaced our roof, honey. Do we need a new roof, baby? I don't know, honey. Why don't you call Greg from Pell City, baby? Sure thing, Sweetum. 205-542-3531. You call up Greg from Pell City, and your baby or Sweetum will not have to get up on that ladder. He'll crawl up on the roof and check out that roof. A free no-cost inspection with Greg from Pell City. 205-542-3531. 205-542-3531. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, locally owned, and they've got great warranty. It is Greg from Pell City on Facebook. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, or just call him Sweetums when you call him up at 205-542-3531 at Storm Restoration Roofing.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Iron Mountain Construction is an industrial services company with over 500 people available for your situation and needs. They are committed to safely supporting the operations of your facility through their execution of quality-driven maintenance services and on-time, on-budget small capital construction work. And they offer support with plumbers, pipe fitters, millwrights, iron workers, laborers, operators, and more. Call the office of Iron Mountain Construction, 205-781-1170 for Jeremy Purvis and Iron Mountain Construction.
Greystone Chiropractic and their brand new facility in Tattersall Park is the premier family wellness office in Birmingham. Dr. Lee Goldenberg is committed to helping families unleash their unlimited healing potential naturally in a beautiful and stress-free environment. Voted best in Birmingham 3 years in a row, nominated for Shelby County Healthcare Provider of the Year. What sets Dr. Goldenberg and Greystone Chiropractic apart? Their attention to detail, their thorough approach with patients, and their excellent customer service. I trust my family with Dr. Goldenberg. You can too. Visit GreysstoneChiropractor.com or call 981-8090.
Suffering from an old sports injury? Or tweak a joint being a weekend warrior? Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics may be able to reduce or eliminate your knee, hip, or shoulder pain, increase your mobility, and get you back in the game. From pediatrics to geriatrics, appointments are available at 9 convenient locations affiliated with Brookwood Baptist Health. Call Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics at 855-219-6200 or visit precisionsportsortho.com.
If you need to move, you only need 2 men and a truck. Local or long distance, they can pack it, load it, move it, unload it, and arrange it when you get there. See more details at 2menandatruck.com or call the Tuscaloosa Northport location, 205-614-8522, 205-614-8522. And guess what? You can get a free quote on your moving cost up front, to or from campus, from your apartment to your next home, or from Tuscaloosa to L.A. Your next move starts and ends with 2menandatruck.com.
Say you had the greatest job in the world, which everyone knows is crafting pumpkin fresh frozen custard desserts at Culver's. Here would be your typical day. Pour farm fresh dairy into the custard maker and run continuously all day. Add real pumpkin puree and pumpkin pie spice, then craft our pumpkin spice shake or salted caramel pumpkin concrete mixer. Yum! Serve with a great big pumpkin lovin' smile.
Just like that, pumpkin's back at Culver's, but not for long. Welcome to Delicious.
We've told you about the excellent service you get from Excalibur Services for residential heating, cooling, and electrical problems. Now, you can also depend on Excalibur for all your plumbing needs. Excalibur will perform plumbing services in the same excellent manner as our heating, cooling, and electrical services. Highly trained plumbers now teaming up with highly trained HVAC and electrical service experts. At Excalibur, we have you covered. 205-718-8688. Excalibur Services, Alabama license number 15214.
Football season is now in full swing, and you need to be winning with us at lanceslock.com. You get the free lock during the show, but get even more with a subscription at lanceslock.com. Get Lance's full slate of college football games every Saturday, as well as Sunday's NFL, all with the same subscription. No complicated or expensive weekend packages. Get everything. All leagues, every day. Only $90 a month, breaking down to $3 a day. If you want to win this football season, jump on your phone, tablet, or computer right now and go to lanceslock.com and get on board with us.
Your 24-hour home for the show is our website, nextroundlive.com. Easy links to the day's top stories in the morning rounds, plus the latest videos from the show, podcasts like Bama and Bourbon, The Mystery Fifth Hour, Last Call, and other shows from our Double Down Media podcast family. Nextroundlive.com, a great way to stream the show live or find easy-to-listen to hour-by-hour downloads from the Next Round Live show and get the latest gear in the Next Round store. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage. That's nextroundlive.com.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
A couple other notes before we get to Rockstar's viewing menu. I don't know if the Big 12 should be able to suspend a radio crew.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Robert Asel, the field judge. Side judge Fulton Carson. Brian Ernest, the back judge. The center judge Chris Talent. And Gene Semko, the replay official. That is your officiating crew, people. That is completely out of control here.
Coming up after our Buc-ee's moment of the game, we're going to give you their addresses, their home addresses.
Listen, did I think it was great radio? No, not particular. But isn't that part of hometown radio is hearing them do what you do when you watch a game and complain a little bit about the officials?
I think this happens with a lot of radio crews.
Those guys are complete hacks.
You don't think it happens with a lot of radio crews?
I'm sure it does. I mean, yes, but those guys, they sound like complete hacks. I mean, it's just so unprofessional. Just go call the game. You don't have to be some hack like that. That's just it's small town, man. What are you, high school? You're doing like 1A high school? You're doing a college job. Freaking act like it.
I would agree. If you're a student, student broadcast.
Student radio. I don't expect you to be Al Michaels, but don't be a freaking two-bit hack yelling at referees like that.
Bob Bowlesby should have the right to come in and suspend my radio crew.
Yeah, just for them
I'm
being
the Texas
idiots.
Tech AD.
Yeah, for them being idiots, yes. I mean, it's just stupid. Why do I want that representing my conference? That's just, you're a hack. You're a small-town hack.
If I'm Texas Tech, I would tell you I'm not representing your conference.
Yes, you are.
I'm representing Texas Tech. And
you're not a Big 12 member?
We're a member of your conference.
Oh,
hey, and by the way,
are.
you're lucky we're still here because everyone else is leaving your conference.
Oh, yeah, we'd be dead without Texas Tech. Absolutely. Yeah. People not having to go to Lubbock to play.
They do need them now.
Out in the middle of nowhere, hack is doing that. It's stupid. Just call the game, okay? Just call the game. That's what you get paid to do. Call the game.
Part of our show being brought to you by our friends at New Life Art. They bring you Rockstar's viewing menu today.
New Life Art bringing you memorable sports moments by Daniel A. Moore for over 40 years. If you're looking for that great Christmas gift, call